Question number 6. From a normal population with unknown standard deviation, a sample is taken containing 4 numbers, 65, 54, 44, and 55. Now, this question is different from questions from 1 through 5. So far, all the questions we have encountered have given us the sample mean and the sample standard deviation or the population standard deviation. So all we need to do is to use the formula and calculate the lower bound and upper bound of a confidence interval. For this question, we're not given the mean, we're not given the standard deviation. We have to calculate the sample mean and the sample standard deviation. Then we build a confidence interval. This type of question is more realistic because in reality, as a researcher, you always have to go out to find your own sample. Then you bring back sample to calculate the sample mean and the sample standard deviation. Then you build some confidence interval. So this is the type of a question that has more realistic values here. So let's do it. 6a, calculate the sample mean and the sample standard deviation. So far, we have done a lot of calculations about the sample mean and the sample standard deviation, and I give you answer here. I want to go home to verify these values. Okay. Sample mean is this is the formula and this is the result 54.5. Sample standard deviation, this is the formula and this is the result 8.58. Based upon this sample mean and the sample standard deviation, we can proceed to build confidence intervals. 6b, build a 90% confidence interval for the population mean. Obviously, this is the case where we do not know the population standard deviation, so we have to use, and the sample size is very small, it's only 4. So we have to use t-score, so that's this formula here. Okay. And sample mean 54.5 plus minus 2.35 is the t-score that corresponds to 90% confidence interval. Let's go to a table to see how we obtain this t-score. For 10%, we go down to the degrees freedom 3, 2.35. So that's the t-score here, 2.35. Multiplied by the standard error, 8.58, that is the sample standard deviation, divided by the square root of sample size, 4. You complete these two calculations, you obtain the lower bound and the upper bound. C, build a 95% confidence interval. Same formula, sample mean 54.5 plus minus, now the t-score that corresponds to 95% confidence interval, 3.18. Let's go to see how do we obtain this value. 5% here goes down until we meet the degrees of freedom 3, that gives us 3.18. Then multiplied by the standard error here. Two calculations for the lower bound and upper bound, and that's the interval. Okay. I hope this helps. I see you next time. Goodbye.